Hello everyone and welcome to today's sessions, and today we will learn how you will create your own exceptions. So we already learned this structure, right? The arithmetic exceptions or number format exceptions or this type of exceptions. But these are basically predefined or inbuilt exceptions that is available in Java. Now let's say if you want to create your own exceptions, then how you can create that one. So first we have to understand where we actually need custom exceptions or your own exceptions. Then we will learn how to create that one. So in my Eclipse you can see I have created a custom.exception demo class under com.demo.excp package, and under the main method I have created simple two integer variable. One is called length, another one is width. I have set two value 20 and 10. Very simple thing. And what I am trying to calculating the area. Let's say this is for some rectangle, so area we know length into width, right? And under this area it will be calculated, and finally I am trying to print that area is equal to, and whatever the value calculated here, that is coming here. Now if I try to run this, so you can get a simple result, that is area is equal to 20 into 10, that is nothing but 200, right? So this is a simple thing. Now thing is that let's say I set width is equal to minus 10. So what it will create? Will it throw some exceptions or some error? No, because system doesn't know what is basically you are trying to do. Ultimately he know that you are trying to do some multiplications with this operator, right? So you are putting some value positive or negative, system doesn't bother, right? So that's mean if you run this, so you can get a exact result that is equal to minus 200. But think carefully or think practically, is it possible that minus or negative value for any width or maybe for any length? No, right? So that type of case, Java does not know what you are doing. He only know, or it's only know that you are doing some multiplications. But in this case, as it's a negative value, we have to handle that one using our custom exceptions. And this type of scenario our custom exceptions basically trigger. So that's mean we have to create some exception concept so that we can handle any negative value, right? So for that case you have to create custom exceptions. Now question is that how we can create the custom exceptions, because we already know that like arithmetic exceptions or number format exceptions, these are basically inbuilt, right? But we have to create from our own, and that's why I am telling it as a custom exception. So how we can create that? Now if you check this structure, we have arithmetic exception, number format exceptions, or null pointer exceptions, array index, out of bound exceptions. But in this structure you can see all are basically subclass of actually the top level throwable class, right? So that's mean again we have to create something like this type of class which will be a subclass of this throwable, okay? And we have to use another keyword called throw. So let's check how we can create that. So let me create another class, let's say under the same package, and give its name something like negative value, okay? Don't check this public static void main now. Now finish. So what I say is that this negative value should be subclass of throwable, right? So we can do that using a extend keyword, and we can simply extend the exceptions class instead of throwable. If it's a subclass of exception, that's mean it's again subclass of throwable, right? Because you can see here in this structure these are nothing but actually subclass of runtime exception, then throwable. So ultimately all are basically part of this throwable. So similar way what we will do, we will basically extend this exceptions class. So let me extend the exceptions class, okay? So now you have extended the exceptions class. Now your next step is to create a argument constructor. So we know that how to create a constructor, right? Simply we will use the same class name, okay? And as I told that argument constructor, so we have to create an argument. And why we need this argument? Because we have to pass our custom message. So let's create a string variable here and name the your argument like custom exceptions message, okay? Now you have to pass this custom exception message under super. So just create a super, then under that simply pass this custom exception message. Okay, so now our custom exception class that is called negative value is ready, which is basically extending exceptions class. Okay, now how we can use this? Now go to your actual class. Let's say this is my actual class. Let me double click it here. Now what is our aim? If length or width anything is negative, then we have to actually call this negative value exceptions. Okay, so how we can do that? I already told that we have to use the throw keyword. So first create the condition that if my length or my width is negative, then we will throw that exception. What exception? That is called negative value. This is our custom exceptions, right? So let me create first the conditions. So the condition is if length less than 0 or width less than 0, that's mean length is negative or width is negative, we have to throw that exception. So we have to use the throw keyword, and the syntax is throw new and call your constructor. Okay, so what is that? That is basically negative value. So simply throw then new and the constructor is this, and finally we have to pass the message. Which type of message we will give? This is also our custom message, so we can give anything. So we can say that length or width cannot be negative. So you can see I have created the throw new negative value, that is basically our custom exceptions class constructor, and this is basically argument constructor. So in argument I actually pass the exact length and width cannot be negative this message. Okay, now you can see I am getting some error. Why I am getting some error? So we have to handle this one, right? So we know to handle that we have to use try catch block, right? So make a try block here, and definitely all your content should be goes under this try block. Okay, and here we have to catch that exception, so use the catch block. Okay, and what is your exceptions here? We know our exceptions is nothing but negative value, right? So just give negative value. Similarly we already did in our previous class, right? And to print this message, we know how we can do that. So simply create a system dot out dot println statement. Here we can give something like exceptions. Now how we can get the message? So we know that is basically our variable instance, or negative value instance, that is nothing but e, or let's say make it ex like we did in our last class. So ex dot, and how we can get the message? So we know we have to use the get message method. Okay, now you can see here, if I put let's say all are positive and try to run this, so we will not get any error. It will simply give area is equal to 200. 200 is means 20 into 10, that is nothing but 200. Now let me make it negative. If I make it negative, now let's see. So if I run it, you can see basically its check is length or width less than 0. Yes, because this is less than 0, and it's throw the negative value exceptions with this message, and that message once it's throw, so under this catch we are actually trying to catch that one, and using this ex.get message we are trying to collect this message with extra custom message we have given here. So that's why it shows exceptions and our message length or width which we write there. So length or width cannot be negative. So let me, instead of width, let me put length as negative. If you make length as negative, so it will got here and it will throw these exceptions, our custom exceptions, and finally under this catch block we will print exceptions and the message, right? So let me run it again, so you can see the same thing we are getting here, right? And let me put both these negative, that will also work. Let's run this, so you can see I am again getting the error message. So our negative value should not be supported, and for that we have created a custom exceptions which is called negative value. And to create that, you have to create a class something like this and extend that with exceptions class, which is basically inbuilt class we know. Then create a argument constructor, this is your actual message capturing variable, and then pass it for with this super method. So once you did this, finally whenever you face any type of this type of negative value issue, you can simply use that one using the throw keyword with your exact condition. This is my custom conditions, right? So using these custom conditions, you can simply create or throw that custom exceptions with your exact message, that is for our case length or width cannot be negative. Okay, so hope you understand how to create a custom exceptions using this throw keyword and using this type of structure where you have to extend the throwable subclass. For our case we are actually using exceptions class. Okay, so hope you understand this concept. Try to do this from your side as well.
I believe this video has helped you to understand about the topic. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, click on the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss any video from this channel.